Yeah, I got into looking at all that stuff actually. Like when I was first getting big into bodybuilding, I'd see all these like test things. I'd be like, can't think of anything specific, but it'd be like, you got if you eat an orange before your workout, you're gonna be 10% stronger, or like something arbitrary like that. And I'd be like, oh, okay, that's cool. And I kind of just read the headlines for a while, and I start eating oranges before my workout, and I don't notice any difference. And then after a while, I go back and read the article, and it'll say something ridiculous like, oh yeah, it's before you run like a marathon, and it only worked on males between the ages of 30 and 40 who had never worked out before in their life. And it's like, well, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I remember reading ones. There's probably like dozens of these where it's like they'll do like some university guys that have nothing to do with actual like strength training will do like a test and be like, yeah, in non-strength trained athletes, if you do this and that, they'll get like a 30% increase. And you're like, first of all, your sample size is like 8 people.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
How does that even apply? Like,
Yeah. Eight college kids who are out drinking every night. And
yeah, it's just like, yeah, they lost weight. Well, you told them to clean up their diet for 3 weeks. You didn't have to do a damn thing after that. They would have, lost some weight.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. That was why, like, oh, what was that I'm going on a tangent here.
yeah,
Was that there's one documentary on Netflix. I think it was all about like how being vegan is the best thing ever, or something like that. And it drove me insane because every single person in that documentary, like one guy was like, yeah, I was 3 months away from dying and my blood pressure was this and that. And then like, I cut out all meats and I went vegan, and like now I'm super healthy and everything's good. And then like, it kind of goes on through the documentary. And later on, he's like, yeah, like I used to have 2 Red Bulls every morning when I woke up and a box of donuts for breakfast. And I'm like, and then he's like, I'd go to McDonald's every day for lunch. I'm like, oh my God, that's not because of the meat, you idiots. Like
yeah.
someone, and there'd be another woman who'd be like, yeah, like ever since I cut out meat and like everything's just so much better. All I'm eating is plants. And then you find out she's like, yeah, I had like 4 large double coffees when I woke up, and then like for lunch I'd have a bag of chips and like a sandwich, and then for dinner I'd usually just have like a cake or something like that. But ever since I cut out meat and went vegan, everything's so much better. I'm like, I couldn't even finish the thing. I was like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I know. I actually refused to watch that thing, but people kept sending it to me because they know it worked out, right? And
Oh,
the one clip I did watch was they interviewed. You probably remember because you watched. They interviewed like a what do you call it, a strongman athlete.
yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah,
because I'm a hardcore strongman watcher, right? And I know that guy they interviewed. He's not an international anything. He can't even get his pro card. He's like the top 5 in California, first
yeah.
of all, right? And then he was like saying he made a stupid absurd comment like, if you want, everybody says they want to be strong like bull, well, bulls eat grass or whatever. And I'm like, well, bulls also have 4 different stomachs that they could digest that shit. We have one. Like, we're not biologically the same.
I know. It's like, yeah, it's ridiculous. So, well, yeah, a little bit of a tangent there, but that's kind of the idea behind it. Is you gotta read between the lines and don't just read the headlines to get your information.
Yeah, well, look at the source. So apparently the conspiracy theory about that is like produced by James Cameron, right?
Mhm.
And the thing was apparently he had just bought either as a part owner or as like full owner of a company that made vegan protein,
Yeah,
and then he
yeah.
came out with that thing. So it's like, hmm.
Yeah, I know. Like I couldn't even make it through the whole thing, man. And then like the worst part was I had people in my family because like same thing as you. They know I work out and stuff, and like, yeah, did you see that documentary? Like, yeah, did you see the different like in the different stuff in these guys' blood, like this and that? Like, yeah, did you see like how much better his cholesterol was? And I'm like, oh my God, like he was eating KFC every day. He was having 6 Red Bulls a day. He was having a box of donuts every day. And then he went completely to eating only healthy stuff and vegetables. Like, obviously, there was an improvement. It has nothing to do with
Yeah,
the meats.
no, not at all, not at all.